Namaste, viewers. This is Jaipur Dialogue USA, and I'm your host, Vibhuti Jha. As always, I request you to like, subscribe, and support our channel. Give your feedback and support any which way you can. Thank you. Now, today I wanted to talk to you about a very specific issue in America, and that is one of the most prominent, strong association of Indians, and that is known as Association of Association of American Physicians of Indian Origin. This was the original name. Now they call it API USA. They're having a 4-day conference in my neighborhood in New York, Manhattan, New York City, in Marriott Marquis Hotel in Times Square. So about 10 days ago, I got an invite for this. And I noticed that the 4-day invite that was saying the first, second, and third day, the entertainment element was all by Pakistani guys. Now, what is important here is I asked one of the physicians who is a friend of mine and a very active member of API, what is that about? Didn't they find Indian Bollywood entertainers? So I was told that Indian entertainers were being very pricey and expensive, and the Pakistanis came cheap. So you have 3 Muslim names there. No hard feelings about that. But there is an element there which is very important. And that's critical for all of us to know. You know what he said? They were acting expensive, pricey. So the question arises, is that such an organization, API, that is hosting an event in Manhattan, the most expensive place on the planet Earth perhaps, in a pricey hotel called Marriott Marquis in Times Square, was complaining about the price of Indian entertainers. They were acting pricey. So I asked, how is it that these people are hosting the event? Did you pay Marriott Marquis price plus and minus negotiated element, or did you pay a motel price up to that? So when you ask somebody to perform, you pay them according to their market rate, negotiated plus or minus whatever. But what is important here is we had this conversation, and that Indian doctor told me that's the reason why he was not going for that convention. This is important. Now, API I have known since 1991. I've had the great privilege of interacting with many, many, many Indian doctors who have given Indian doctors a good name as a professional in this country. So they are liked. They are recognized. Bill Clinton and others have addressed their annual conventions. So they are that powerful. They have a lobby. But of late, what has happened is that there is a very serious intent to divide this Indian professional organization. And believe it or not, the Pakistan American doctors are playing a role in it. Now, this is where I picked up on my colleague in West Coast, not a colleague, a friend on West Coast, Sri Ayerji from P Gurus. And I want to mention that because he tweeted that truly concerning to see, and I'm reading that tweet, truly concerning to see that Atif Aslam, a Pakistani singer, who has shown significant animosity towards India and people of Indian origin in the past, is being invited to perform at the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, API USA, event in New York. Hosting and promoting an artist who has shown disdain for people of Indian origin puts a prestigious and powerful organization like the API USA in a very bad light. Why does our community like sticking it to itself? Do they have their heads under sand? I want to compliment Sri Ayerji, who I know very well, who knows me too. It's not one-way traffic. He also knows me, and we operate virtually on the similar lines. So I compliment him for his boldness in saying what he said. But what is also important to find out here is that right now, API USA is a divided lot. I'm told that the president and her spouse, they have virtually suspended many members of API. Many members are not participating. They fell short of funds, and they were approached by the Pakistanis Doctors Association, who have covered the financial gap in the entertainment program. You know what? They were even renaming or attributing the whole thing that it's not an RP event, it's a World Health Congress that they are hosting. Many elements have penetrated, anti India Pakistani elements have penetrated in this one. And let's put it this way, and I'm not saying this because of any animosity towards any faith, religion, or country, but to those elements who are definitely anti India, anti Hindu, who accuse us of being what we are not. So the question here is very important. Are Indian doctors unaware of what that country does to Hindus and Hindu women in their country? I mean, where is the sympathy? Remember one thing, it's very critical for every Indian American to know this, and Indians in India to know this, that when August 15th Independence Day celebration that is going to happen in DC and New York and everywhere else, the Indian American Muslim Council has raised a protest that Indians are going to put a float of anti-Islamic thing. You know what is the anti-Islamic thing? Ram Mandir. The float of Ram Mandir is branded as anti-Islamic. So this is what is important for you. Where are these elements that are so Hindu-phobic, so suffering from Hindu-misia, and so hateful of India and Hindus? Why is API teaming up with them? Which part of it you did not know? Which part of it you did not know that regardless of who and what you may be, you will always remain a kafir? I understand. I have called many Indian doctors and said that you guys actually should lead a revolution, doctors against religious, fanaticism. You know why? There's a deepest respect for doctors because they treat illness. They don't judge a person because of his color, race, or whatever. It's not that when a patient comes to a doctor, the patient is treated as a human being and the illness is treated, not that I have to treat person belonging to any other religion in a different manner. That's the neutrality of doctors. That is the greatness of physicians, that they cannot miss on account of political ideology. It's a very interesting contradiction as well, because you have to remember that if those who are trying to hurt you, you do not allow them to hurt you. Your job also is to protect yourself and your community from getting hurt. Now, this is very important again. It is critically important for API to know that every single Indian watches them with great respect because you have given American professionalism, the Indian professionalism in America, a very positive frame of reference. Everybody loves Indian doctors. People say it with pride. Oh, I have an Indian doctor. It's a matter of great pride. And I want to urge upon you, fellow doctors, and many of you know me from cutting across East Coast to West Coast, that awaken. It's time for awakening, not becoming a Wokistani. You cannot allow yourselves to become an agent willingly or unwillingly, wittingly or unwittingly, of a charade in which you are painted to be destroyed. There was a newspaper article that API, a foremost organization of Indians in America, is riddled with divisiveness. Typical satrap mentality seeps in even into the professionals, the leading professionals who give Indians a good face and a good name. So my appeal to the API is those of you who are against that entire move, don't ask for evidence whether this fellow has said or not. Trust Sri Iyer. Trust those who are making that statement. Trust me when I say this, when I make an appeal to you, that you cannot allow this charade to happen. Long time ago, A friend told me when we were talking about business, he said, I don't do business with friends because it's difficult to do business with friends. Because in business you have to be harsh and tough at times. If you are friends, then I can't be harsh and tough with you. So I said, do you do business with enemies then? That's quite wise. Think about it from that perspective. You can keep business and friendship aside and you can do a great relationship. That's friends do business with friends. Friends support friends. Enemies don't support friends. Keep that in mind. So, my appeal to API, to all Indians in America is today and everywhere, please become awakened instead of becoming a Wokistani. Recently you have heard that Ambassador Garcetti in India had said that Indians will have to mind themselves better. Otherwise, I will not be able to defend you in America. That was a very gratuitous statement, facetious and remarkably juvenile, because India doesn't need an American ambassador to defend India in America. We are here still. Number one. Number two is the fact that when the people, the Garcetti must worry about protecting American democracy for the way it is being run at the moment, unfortunately. So, my friends, my appeal to you is API, you're a leading organization. Lead it from front. Be an example of fair play, not entertaining those who abuse us and hate us. Welcome those who do not. But those who are clearly, and if Sri Ayer can't be wrong, it's very important. The current leadership of API is at fault, so it seems, because they are the ones who don't care for the rest of the population. People are excited about these events because this brings about many, you know, uh, many other organizations and alumni, physicians alumni, to these forums. That's why it is a 4-day event, because many other satellite colleges also join hands in these. So it's a powerful organization, and you can't afford to be divided. You have to uphold your dignity straight up. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, support, and subscribe to our channel. We serve you, we bring you information, and we are proud of doing that. Let's not become a victim of stupidity. Being a Wokistani is no good. It's time to awaken. Satyamev Jayate.